What's up, guys? It's another WTU podcast, Two Voices. I'm here with Adam. I'm Miles. Were you going to do that?
I was going to do that.
You're going to throw it to me?
It's
we haven't
okay.
perfected that yet. Hey,
No.
If you're not watching the video portion of that, you didn't even know what just happened, so. Well, maybe you did. I don't know. Anyway, we're having a busy week. You want to tell the people what we're up to this week?
Yeah, so last Sunday we finished up before our 2-week break at Cheviot. We go back there on the 14th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we've been practicing. We're playing a wedding tonight. Today is Friday, June 28th, and we are playing during the ceremony tonight. So
yeah, we're playing the processional songs, and we're playing the Unity Sand. I've never heard of that
Unity
before.
Sand.
Unity Sand song on the piano, and then
Then we're closing it up, wrapping up that ceremony.
And then they asked me to play. After we pack up, they asked me to play the first dance song at the dinner. So I'm gonna play "Perfect" by Ed Sheeran.
It'd be really good.
Yeah,
It'd
it's
be
gonna
great.
be fun.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. How great is it gonna be?
On a scale of 1 to great, I'm gonna say great.
Yeah, I would say, on a scale of 1 to great,
Yeah.
I'd say great. Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad that we have the same feelings towards the music we're coming out with.
So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today.
Yep.
We're making the podcast before we head out there. Adam, what's well, first of all, any updates I should know about? You haven't told me about, and then every waking hour I see you.
No updates.
Milo's still mad at me.
My-
Why is he doing that? I don't want to air him out again on this podcast.
Milo,
but
our Chihuahua, my Chihuahua, not ours.
we're not that.
My fiance's Chihuahua.
It's not like that.
Miles is a little too spastic, and Milo is a calm.
You're blaming me.
Milo is a calm, collective dog, and so Miles just
This
needs
is some shocking content right here, ladies and gentlemen.
shocking news. Anyways,
Well, that's fine. Whatever, man. I don't care. I'm over it. I'm
All right.
Team Zara. It's fine.
all right.
Team Zara. Hashtag Team Zara. That's the new hashtag for this podcast. Hashtag Team Zara. Hashtag Milo. You want a black yappy Chihuahua or your beautiful Jack Russell Terrier mix?
With Chihuahua.
Okay, well, just a little bit of Chihuahua.
Yeah.
The good part.
Anyways, we got some good topics that we're going to be discussing today.
Yeah, we're doing Art We Love first.
Yep, we're doing Art We Love. What's a item of appreciation of like what made us appreciate life today?
Mhm.
Or not today, but this week.
Mhm.
And then finally, we're gonna wrap up with what would it really be like if we got famous? Like, how would we act?
Yeah.
Music wise, would we sell out, etc. So we're gonna go deep dive
We're
into
gonna-
that.
Do some theorizing on
So
what the future may be like.
Miles, let me ask you, what art did you love this week, and what did it inspire upon you?
Well, it's funny you say that because I happen to right here have the art that I love this week.
Here, you got it? All right.
Not a sponsor. Picnic,
Want me to
lightning.
hold it? I'll
yeah,
hold it.
Yeah, and then you can like Vanna White present it with your hand. There you go. Picnic, lightning. By Lawrence Scott. And I am literally 15 pages in, and it's already blowing my mind. I just started reading yesterday. This book, I bought it at the Barnes & Noble philosophy section. I was on top of my educational game. I went into Barnes & Noble. I walked right past the comics
Nice.
and the records, although it was very tempting. And I went to philosophy, and I said, I'm going to get smart today. And I dropped a 25 piece on this. Hardback.
They make $25 bills?
Yes,
Okay.
I have one.
All right.
And I gave it to the cashier.
Wow.
She said, "Wow, you must be smart."
Forgery at its finest.
Okay. This book is, I'll just read you the tagline. You can kind of get what it's about, but it's called "The Experience of Reality in the 21st Century." And I read another tagline about it that's basically talking about how it's about the experience of reality in the Instagram age, when everything is fake, like what is truly real.
Yeah.
And it's just mind-boggling stuff. I mean, I'm literally only 15 pages. I don't even know how this book ends at all. I'm first chapter in. But he's talking about how back in the day, like all the ancient philosophers, like Plato, for example, thought that this was an alternate, like this was not real, like life wasn't real, and you could escape and find like a true reality. Like it was like we were living in some kind of illusion.
Yeah.
And then there's something outside of us that when we like either when we die or like when we reach like when we become what's the word when you go to nirvana, like when you become enlightened, you would like find out what the true meaning of the world is and what the meaning of life is. And then way later on with Friedrich Nietzsche in like I think the late like 1800s, like 1890s, I'm not sure, somebody's gonna roast me in the comments for that. He said like he was a big like God is dead, this is the only thing there is, this is reality. When we die, there's nothing else. Like, this is reality. And then this guy was kind of taking that one step further and saying, in the age of Instagram and digital reality, what does real even mean?
Yeah.
Because with how we're creating virtual reality and augmented reality and filtering everything we put out for people to see and putting these versions of ourselves on this medium that is not us, but in some ways it is us.
Right.
Like what does
almost creating like a false imagery.
Yeah, it's like what does real even mean anymore? And I've just been thinking about that and just how interesting that is, because he says like basically everything we do is augmented reality, because how can we tell what's real and what's not?
Yeah.
And what does real even mean? That's what he's talking about. Like, what does it mean to say that you think something is real
right
or not?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I've been like kind of sending my mind into a...
So let me ask you this and I'll give my answer. What do you think real is? Like in your current state, like what do you think being real?
Well, like, I think I'm going to put this down. I think just, and this is what I try to do when I write songs too. I'm not perfect at it by any means, but like, if all you have is what you know, like, you know, the only thing you can know for sure is that you exist, like what you feel. Like, I think I know what you feel most of the time, but I can't be for certain.
Yeah.
And so I think real is just being as honest with your own thoughts and emotions as you can be in everything that you do. And I think when stuff starts to get weird is when you break away from that and start faking an image of yourself and stuff, like online or even in person, start trying to be someone that you're not.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah,
That's
my
good.
mind is racing thinking about this stuff this week.
Funny story, you're talking about this, and I had no idea that you were specifically talking about that
Cool.
item, right?
Yeah.
Looking for a kind of a quote that inspired me. It's not from John Foreman this week.
Yes.
So don't worry.
Yes.
It's actually from an unknown
Anonymous?
person. Anonymous, not the group.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's from a unknown person, and it really speaks to me, and especially our band's current season of
lack of fame.
Of lack of fame. And it says, it goes like this. It says, work for a cause, not for applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your presence notice. Just make your absence felt. And so there's like, for me, there's three things going on in this poem. First off, working for a cause, not applause. For us, that's our cause, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like our cause as a band right now is to not only show people that we're not alone in this life, but that we're together, show love to each other, because this is all we got. We're all human, and
Yeah.
I think that's our overall. That's a very vague cause.
It's interesting. Well, it's interesting that you say like this is all we got. Like, it goes back to kind of like what I was saying. Like, this is all we know right now.
Yeah.
So it might serve us to at least be good to one another.
Yeah.
In what we know, there's a lot that we don't know.
And in being good to each other, it's never going to hurt anything. Because the world is a crazy place where people are not nice to each other,
especially right now,
and it's probably always been that way. But be nice. I mean,
yeah.
this is the world, and we are making this world every
Mhm.
day. So, and going on in this quote, it says, live life to express, not impress." Um, I- it's as clear as how it sounds.
Mhm.
Don't impress people.
But like it's as clear as it sounds, but how many people?
How many people try to impress? Like,
I mean,
yeah,
everyone.
like
We're trying to impress.
we are trying to impress, but at the same time, I feel like overall, like our expression of like what our image is and our music, we're expressing it. We're not dedicated to a label
Mhm.
that is saying, "Oh, you need to write this song about this."
Mhm.
We are independent and we're singing in our own light, in our own voice.
And we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and it says, "Don't strive to make your presence noticed, just make your absence felt." Uh, you know, and that right there, people can tell when
Mhm.
you haven't released a song in so long,
Mhm.
because they don't hear anything new. They want new stuff. It kind of ties into that.
There's some
But
people who you don't care like when you release a new song.
no, but
But
there's people that do, and
Yeah.
that's kind of a good
No, I'm saying like there's artists where you just like don't care.
no.
Like I'm not to out like Ariana Grande or anything.
Yeah.
But like when I hear some of these like I'm just using her as an example. I shouldn't have just pinpointed her, but like a lot of the pop artists like that are on the radio. I'm not saying they're all bad, but when I hear they release a new song, it's like they release a new song all the time. It's like
Yeah.
nothing. They don't create art. It's not like an event.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like them putting out another song.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like other artists make it more of a, hey, I spent a ton of time on this. This is gonna be a big deal. This is a full album.
Yeah.
Like I this is my craft.
Yeah.
And then I get interested.
So,
It
and
seems like they're being honest.
taking that from you, like I think how you have like a pop artist like that,
Mhm.
release music compared to like what 21 Pilots made with their most recent album Trench.
Still pop though.
Still pop, but you actually, I mean, just because of how open their band is, and that whole piece of album of art was
Yeah.
literally,
It was like it was so well put together and crafted
and it was
as
all
like a
crafted.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, by him
By
only.
Tyler. Yeah, Tyler Joseph. Hashtag
I mean,
shout out.
Hashtag shout out. You want to talk about your clout mishap earlier this week? We can talk about that later.
We'll talk. But this whole quote is crazy because it feeds off what you're talking about. Just back to this is all we know,
Yeah.
being authentic. And
I think if you're authentic, I think if you are authentic in anything you do, not just art, your absence will be felt
yeah,
because you are the only you that there is.
yeah,
So when you're not a part of the picture, your absence is felt. But if you mold yourself into somebody else, your absence is not felt as much because you're just like living to imitate something you
living
see.
a shadow.
Yeah,
Living in a shadow that it's already been there.
So, I mean, it's simple. It's a simple idea, but it's impactful when you actually live that.
Yeah,
Like when you actually strive to be your own person. And I feel like there's a lot of people because of Instagram or just the internet in general that think being their own person is like being really like just drawing a lot of attention to yourself, doing crazy stuff. And like if that's you, that's you. But being your own person is just, in my mind, being as honest and as down to earth as you can with your own self. And if your own self is really crazy and flamboyant and like all these things, like then that's who you are.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be something you're not.
Right. No.
I feel like a lot of people feel like that because of what they see online and stuff.
And that instant gratification type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna put an end point to that section.
What are we talking
Moving
about?
into the next piece is we're gonna
just
discuss
out here solving problems.
Yeah,
talking about stuff.
solving world issues. What made us appreciate life this week? And this may tie into what we talked about, but I think it's a good thing to reflect every day on something that makes us appreciate the world we're in, the people that we have around us. So I'll take this first, and then I'll let you talk since you got the other.
Since I talk so much.
No, you're okay. You do talk a lot. No, joking. Hashtag joke. But one thing that really made me appreciate life this week, it's going to sound very boring, But while
So was mine.
while my fiance was getting her haircut at JCPenney,
They have haircuts at JCPenney?
they have a
Hold
whole
up.
salon.
We should have a podcast on that.
We should not. But while she was getting her haircut, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go walk down and see what other stores, because I don't feel like walking around JCPenney. Well, nothing against JCPenney. I like my money.
JCPenney, if you want to sponsor us, please don't get us wrong. We would love that.
We'd love that. But
we don't like your store.
It's not that. I just the prices
Are
in this case are not right.
The price is just not right.
But so I don't generally love shopping in there. But anyways, I was walking down outside, and I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and I'm telling you what, it was so beautiful outside. I was walking, and the sky was so blue, and as I was coming back from another store that I was shopping in, I looked up at the sky, and I was like, it was one of those moments where you're like, I'm experiencing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely beautiful, and I get to experience it right now. And then
that's real.
Yeah. And my mind was like, this is now, there's people who have had this experience, right?
Yeah.
And that reflect on this, and there's people who have passed on that have reflected on this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. Like, my mind was like, this is beautiful, and this is now. Like, I could feel it. It just made me appreciate being able to breathe in the air and feel the warmth on my skin, and seeing that beauty that the sky just had to offer. So in a roundabout way, that really is what made me appreciate life this week. So what about you, man? What?
I got two things.
Go for it.
Number one, Chance the Rapper put all his music on streaming services, which brought me instantly back to sophomore year of high school. Which
Get out of here.
Yeah, which made me so happy and so nostalgic.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram that you
I put best day of my life.
Yeah.
And that's not true, but it was like up there. But like I don't know. It just made me nostalgic because I used to bump acid rap when I was like sophomore or junior in high school, and it just made me think about like everything back in the day.
Yep.
Like basically just like the Fenwick parking lot.
It made you appreciate going through that time.
Growing up and stuff. Yeah. I'm still growing up, but it made me appreciate high school and back when I was cooler and stuff,
Yeah, you're not cool
now. And then the second thing is I got to have lunch with my mom at Subway on let's see, I don't know, 2 days ago, whatever that was, Wednesday. And it was just the best time ever. Like, she's just amazing to talk to.
Yeah.
She's still, I mean, she's growing older, but she's not old at all. Neither of my parents are. But like my dad is, like, thinks he's old, but he's not. He's got a young mind. But he just likes to pretend like he's an old man. But my mom is just like, still has just so much passion for what she does. And we just talked for like 2 hours at Subway about how to like bring more young people into the church, and like what I would do and what she would do, and how to fix the music, like how to make the music, how to improve the music at Cheviot. And just like, she's just so excited to like do stuff. And she's like doing all this photography. I don't know. It just made me appreciate my relationship with my mom. Yeah. That it's something I cherish.
Big time.
Greatly, because I don't see her as much now. I see her a lot still, but I don't see her.
Right.
Like, I don't live at home anymore. So it's just, I don't know. Maybe it was one of those like real experiences, like just like so grateful to be in that moment, So
that's awesome.
Good old
Good
Carrie.
Stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So we'll move on to the next
the pivot.
The pivot of the basketball.
Wait, what?
Anyways, so the next kind of fun topic.
Wait, can we wait real quick?
Yeah, go.
We got to talk about how you thought clout was an adjective.
Okay, so anyways, we ended up getting like 200 or 200 or 300 likes on a couple of our Instagram posts, and this is the first time like we've ever broke that big on a couple Instagram posts because
nobody likes our music.
Because nobody likes our music.
Nobody.
So, and I was like, oh, that's great. And he was like, oh, that's clout.
No, I didn't say that. Listen, I said we're gaining clout. We're getting that clout.
And I said, what is clout? Because I've never heard of this term in my life. I'm 22, not that old. I would still like to think that I'm with the
You
hip,
like to think that.
but apparently I've been out of touch.
Old people like to think a lot of things.
But I didn't know what that meant. So after he told me, I said, "We're clout. That's clout. We be clout."
No.
So
And none of those three you just struck out. That's 3 strikes right
anyways, the internet's probably gonna get mad
Yeah.
off this, and I'm
there.
sorry.
We're getting that clout. Get
We-
my clout up.
We get in clout.
No, you still make it sound like an adjective or something, bro.
Anyways, so the next item that
I'm not done with that, but we'll let it go for now.
Next item I want to discuss is kind of a fun topic. What would it be like if we got famous? So Miles, I'll let you swing the bat on this one.
How famous is the first question? Like we talking big, like how big?
So
Ariana Grande famous, like biggest Imagine Dragons hugest.
I would say let's say for this key and point discussion, let's talk about like if we were Imagine Dragons big.
Okay, so the biggest band, basically.
One of the biggest bands.
Besides Panic at the Disco.
Coldplay.
Right now, they're bigger than Coldplay.
They
Panic at the Disco is number 1, I think.
Yeah. So let's say we were big like Panic at the Disco.
Okay. Well,
Let me ask this. Would it change, which we don't know this, but
that's why we're doing this.
do you feel like it would change how you acted to people?
It would have to, because you'd have to start shutting people out, because when you get that many people that just want your time at that level, you have to get a close circle. I feel like that's what they all do. Like you can give, and I'm thinking about John Foreman right now. Like he gives so much to his fans, but he's not Brennan Urie big. He doesn't have TMZ in his face every day. He doesn't have paparazzi just mobbing him. He doesn't have people trying to do interviews with him every day. I mean, they're big, but not like that. Like I feel like it's a different. Like he can still connect to his fan base on a personal way. But I feel like if you're Brennan Urie, like you have so many people trying to get your time.
Yeah.
That you have to just pick. You just have to stick with your close friends, and get that and your family, and just like do you, and not like you have to do VIP and stuff like that, and like you have to give time to your fans because they gave you everything. But it becomes ridiculous at some point when you have 20 million people that.
Do you feel like you would treat people differently?
No, I'm not saying. I've heard bad things about Brendan Urie and how he treats, like, because some of original Panic at the Disco left because of him.
Really?
After they got big, yeah, because he just apparently
as you can see, I'm not a big Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. Well, neither am
historian.
That's just what I've heard. Like I've heard after they had that I Write Sins Not Tragedies.
Yeah.
And they got really big.
Yep.
I heard that he just kind of became airheaded and kind of was took on the typical lead singer thing.
Brennan Urie, we'd love to talk to you about this.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on the podcast. We'd love to just berate you for becoming.
No, stop. I'm a big fan of him.
So am I.
And
I don't know those rumors to be true.
So
either.
if you want to come on the show,
yeah. So
and talk with us, our low budget production can.
We don't even have a third seat. You'd have to stand in the middle.
Yeah, you just have to.
We don't have headphones for you or a microphone, but
we could work it out.
We could work it out.
If you're open to the conversation,
we're open.
Yeah, we're open to the conversation. Hopefully that those accusations aren't true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him, so I don't know anything. Those could be completely false.
I think for me,
But I want to say I would make every effort I could to not treat people differently.
Yeah.
I can't say that having cameras in my face 24/7 and people bugging me all the time for my time wouldn't change my attitude towards media.
Yeah.
Like I can't say that for now. Like I think it would jade me a little bit towards fame and stuff like that for sure. But I would make every effort possible to be as kind as I could to everyone who talked to me.
Yeah.
And then with people like you and my family and my friends from school and stuff, I would just have this tight circle and just make sure I didn't change on them for sure.
Yep.
That would be my main goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get mad at them when they point out your voice is going flat.
I would still call you. I would just still call you just a bass player. I would still point out that you play 4 strings as I play 6.
Okay. For me though, just because I've grown up on Switchfoot pretty much, and bands like Linkin Park,
they were bigger than Switchfoot though.
They
Linkin
are.
Park was wild for a minute, but so was Switchfoot though. After Dare You to
well,
Move.
when we look at like Linkin Park though, like when they first started going on tour, back in their the early 2000s, they talked about, I remember watching this article of Mike and Chester, where, and those are the 2 guys from the group Linkin Park. They talked about how when they went on a tour with a headlining band, that they just got treated like crap, and I remember them saying that they never wanted a band that opened for them to ever feel like that. And to see that and see the type of people like they are, like even outside of the bit, like, or they were outside of the band, it's amazing. So I really, when I see that, it definitely shows me what I want to be if we ever get bigger. I never want to belittle anyone for even not being as popular even as us. Yeah. There's no reason, because when it comes to music, we are all a community of artists and creators trying to just make the world, hopefully some of us, a better place. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think there's no way that you can't change a little bit,
but you can still be the same person.
Yeah, not for the worse. I'm just saying you have to change to protect your time.
Yeah.
Because you only get 24 hours a day. And especially if you're trying to still create and stuff, you need that time to like write and just like be by yourself and think.
And even like family wise, like you have like your wife and your kids. If you have that, then you have to have time for that. Because
exactly.
In the words of John Foreman, podcast is turning there.
Here we go.
Life is short.
Week 3, baby.
Life is short, and we need to live it well, and that definitely includes your family.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. I think. Oh, hello.
And not just like your family, but like even with you, like there, I feel like we're not big. As a band, we're not big at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
if
it's
you
okay.
can tell by this production of this podcast or
low
anything.
Production. But even us, this is our busiest summer.
Yeah. And we grew.
And we've grown as a group and followers too. But I feel like our relationship, like I think it's important in a band to not only just focus on the music, but the relationship of the band. And that's
why bands break up.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm happy that we haven't yet, but I feel like it's something we definitely lack on. We don't just hang out.
Yeah.
Ever.
We don't. Well, I wouldn't say ever. I'd say rarely.
It's scarce.
Yeah, because we're doing a lot of what we try to do.
Yeah.
Like putting out stuff wise, and then we forget to just be friends.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our bond has been formed through this though.
I agree.
But I think the bands that stay together either end up just like tolerating one another or really have friendships outside of the stuff they create.
Look at Switchfoot.
Yeah.
It's a prime example. You have
brothers
and
best
friends, and they literally, families hang out. They love each other,
So Need to Breathe too.
Need to Breathe as well.
Colony House, Brothers.
There's
brothers and best friends.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people that we look up to, the Oh Hello is his brother and sister.
Yeah.
The Head and the Heart, I think, is husband and wife.
Is it?
And
really?
then band. Yeah. I somebody check me on that, but these band, like they have relationships outside of the music. I feel like you look at people like the Beatles, right? Yeah. Who are amazing.
Yep. Which were formed when they were younger than us. Yeah. They formed as,
but they weren't friends.
Well,
like they weren't like I mean Lennon and McCartney because they had a bond.
They had a bond through music writing and performing, but how it all
a brotherhood though.
And who knows, Paul, if you want to come in the
if
podcast.
you want to come Paul McCartney. Can you imagine episode 4? Just next week we just have Paul McCartney just chilling right here with no microphone, just the reverberant noise of his voice.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But I feel like especially with how their label was, and they were forced to make music, and I shouldn't say forced, they were led to make music.
I mean, forced is not a horrible word. They're under contract to put it out,
but so
it's just like it's not the same. It's not the same as being friends first and then being like, oh, hey, you want?
I agree, because I think like if you were like, oh, I'm gonna hire you to come in the band and just do this,
right.
it would be completely different.
Right. Even like you can tell, even with Switchfoot,
yeah,
the relationship between Chad, John, and Tim
is different,
is way closer than John to Romy or John to Chad. Even though they're all brothers,
close. Yeah,
it's different for them because they grew up together.
Yeah.
Down the street, I think,
So,
right?
Yep.
Chad was down the street.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. But I mean, to go back to what we're really talking about, I think that we would find a way. We'd probably fight, like, about stuff.
We already do.
And we're not even big, so yeah. But, like, I don't think that we would ever change up enough to where it would become detrimental to our friendship. I would make sure to protect.
I would hope not.
You don't think so?
I would hope that our friendship would remain first.
Yeah.
Over the band.
Yeah.
Like if it came down to our friendship versus the band.
Yeah.
I would stop playing music to be your friend.
Yeah.
And I love music. And I know you do too. I mean, you're getting a major in it.
Yeah. I would too.
But I think that's one we do work well together, especially with our music, and our skills of musicians has definitely
we improved this year for sure.
Has expanded. So yeah. Well,
let's hope we make it big.
Let's hope. Can test and even theories. If we don't,
I'll just call you a bass player anyway and take half the pay.
Yep. And then I'll still clean up all the equipment after gigs because
and I'll
you
sign
don't
autographs and kiss babies.
Yep. Exactly.
Cool.
All right. So
I think we're done.
Any final words so we can
at WTU Music, WTUmusic.com.
Yeah.
That's my final word. My final words in my life are plugging my own socials.
Find us on Instagram, Twitter.
Thanks for taking this journey with us.
Yeah, it's been
this is a good one. Yeah. I felt good about this one.
It's almost like we're on an ocean and we're still going to the island. So
okay. I'm seeing that. Yeah. I'm seeing that in my head.
But that island never gets closer.
Please turn off this podcast now.
Have a good one, folks.
Keep surfing.
Keep surfing.
Bye. Love you guys.
The problem is this